Hey guys, Evergreen Gun Reviews back at it here with another Royal Tiger Imports video. This makes my 10th gun I've received from Royal Tiger Imports. And so I'm going to be covering a few things. So I'm going to go over cleanliness, the wood finish, the bore quality, and fairness as far as how the listing went. Because this was actually an individual listing. But before I dig into this gun here today, guys, I just wanted to thank all my subscribers and all your great feedback that you have been giving me. I kind of have to work my schedule around, I'm a farmer, so I got to kind of work my schedule around that. So a lot of this content's a little bit later, so I appreciate you guys dealing with my late posting and stuff that I have to do. So anyways, guys, I definitely appreciate all that great feedback. Feel free to leave a like, comment this video. I always appreciate new subscribers. I'm definitely trying to give the best content and information that I can give you about these rifles coming out of out of Ethiopia from Inner Ordnance, Royal Tiger Imports, or whatever. So anyways, guys, let's get into this gun here. So this is the first gun I've ever purchased from Royal Tiger Imports that was actually an individual listing. I'm going to take this down here so we can show you this gun a little bit better. So the first time I've ever bought a gun that was an individual listing from them. First thing I'm going to touch on, guys, here. I've got a few little notes here about things I wanted to touch on about this gun. Cleanliness. So my other M95 that I've received from them, upon touching it for the first time and removing my hand, even my FFL, Justin, a great guy locally here, upon him touching this gun, he even said, he said, "Oh my gosh, dude, that thing is filthy. Like, you just touch it and your hand is black." This gun is much cleaner. So this it might not look clean on camera. I don't know how clean it looks, but probably the cleanest gun I've ever received from Royal Tiger Imports. So I don't know if that has to do with it being an individual listing, but my other one, I'll get it up here on the table. I had it all super cleaned up. So this thing probably looks super clean on camera, but this is one that I have personally just done a lot of work to here. Haven't done anything too crazy to spruce this gun up. But anyways, so just touching on that, cleanliness on this rifle is great, which is always nice. Less work of cleaning the rifle is always great, because these guns from Ethiopia come super dirty. So that's a good note. Was just a good note to start on with this thing. This is, before I forget to mention, this one is an 8x56. This one up here is in the original cartridge, which is 8x50, I believe, which you cannot buy ammo for. You cannot find ammo for those guns at all. I think I might butcher the pronunciation of this, but Castro Curiosities or something. There was a guy online doing it for a while, who was doing some ammo for this in small batches, and his store is like shut down now or something. So I don't know what happened to him, but that kind of sucks. So as far as I know, the only way you can get ammo for that is it's pretty rough. You could maybe fire form some 8x56R ammo, like from the Mosin or whatever, maybe fire form some brass for that. But other than that, I don't really know how you're gonna get ammo for that, which is probably why those are priced at the way they're priced. But this one I think I paid around $350 for, which is pretty steep, but I'll get into why I paid quite a bit more money for this one. This rifle seen here, like I said, is in that original 8x50, and it's the long rifle, and this one is actually a STEYR manufacturer, so I'll show that on the camera. Up close, you guys can see it says STEYR M95 right there. There's no additional, there's maybe, I don't know what that marking means there, but there's not an S up there. That's how you know it's in that original cartridge. And then I'll show you this one up close, the new one that I just got. And you'll see that this one actually says Budapest right here, M95, and then it has the S. So that's how you know it's that converted, it's been converted to that new cartridge. It's got the little carbine sight on there. Carbine sight. But so I paid more money for this because it was just something I wanted. I wanted one that was a Budapest. Two, I wanted a carbine. And 3, I wanted that 8x56 because you can actually buy this ammo right here. At my local store, right after I picked this thing up from my FFL, I went right down to my local store. And I live in a small town, and they actually had it. I paid a pretty price for it. Normally, I would buy my ammo online, but I just wanted to pick up a box so I could shoot it the next day after I cleaned it. So you'll definitely not pay that much money for it online, but still cool to know that you can go to a local store. Even I can go to a local store in my small town and find that ammo. So that's a positive about this. The drawback away from those original cartridges in the 8x50 is that you can't find ammo for them. So let's move into it here a little bit more, guys. Besides the cleanliness, another thing I wrote down here that I was really happy about with this rifle is the wood. It might look pretty rough on the camera, and I'll get a little closer here for you guys also and show it up close. It don't get me wrong, it definitely has lots of little nicks and scuffs on it, but this other rifle right here looked 10 times as worse when I had it, when I first got this rifle here. And you can see how I cleaned this thing up. You can see it's actually beautiful wood. It cleaned up very nicely, this other one. So if I was able to get this one to the way that it looks now, then I'll definitely be able to get that other one cleaned up. This one also has a giant chunk out of the bottom of it there. But anyway, so I know it might not look great on the camera, but in reality, it's actually, I can work with this. Gashes that have like splinters coming out of it, that kind of stuff is definitely a lot harder to fix rather than like smaller nicks and stuff. So definitely workable there. Let me just start off by saying, guys, if you're trying to buy like a pristine gun from Royal Tiger Imports, that's not what you're gonna get. You're getting, I think, a good value for the guns coming out of there. I mean, you're obviously not paying like $1,000 for some pristine gun or $800 for some pristine gun, but it definitely is something I think you can definitely get good shooters from Royal Tiger Imports that are a functional gun that will work, that will have some rifling left. So it just depending on if you wanted to roll the dice or whatever. So even though this was an individual listing, I still have to rely on them to say that it has a good bore or has rifling present or whatever. But, and I'll test that right now. I already did it once, but I just want to show you guys. It looks like it's got plenty. So once I clean this, the bullet tip might fit a little bit better down in there, or down in there a little more, but this one definitely doesn't seem like the end of it shot out, so that's nice. But anyways, so yeah, the definitely seems like, you know, everything seems like it's functioning good, and that doesn't seem like it's shot out there. So all right, let's see another thing I touch on here. So the wood, I definitely think that's something that is fixable. The finish on the gun, these guns, it sucks, but the Ethiopians wire wheeled all these guns. This gun I could tell had been wire wheeled, and it sucks because I could tell that before they wire wheeled it that the finish was probably, you know, kind of a pretty patina, and now that they've wire wheeled it, it's like, oh, okay. It doesn't have any pitting on it, which is awesome because that other one does have some pitting, but it's clearly wire wheeled, and I'll show you guys up front here. Let's see if I can get it in the lighting better. You can probably, let's see if I can get this camera to focus. You can probably see these lines in here. I don't think that's from, you can definitely tell up here, man, the lighting, sorry guys. You can definitely tell in spots where you can see marks. It's hard to get it on camera, I guess, but definitely has been wire wheeled. There's no doubt about that. The crappy thing about that is once it's been wire wheeled, I mean, you can't, there's no going back. So, but so the finish on this gun is, I would say, like, I don't know, it's like half there, maybe not even that, maybe there's 40% of the finish left on it. Down here on the magazine, there's definitely a lot more. This gun, when I first got it, the other one, it had 0 finish left on it. So as far as how much the finish goes on this gun, I would say I'm happy with it because it's got more than that one had. But I rust blued that gun just to give it kind of some sort of finish back on it, and it turned out really good. So maybe I'll go that route with this. I don't know yet, but finish goes, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but it definitely had more than my other ones. So maybe this is considered good finish for these rifles. Bore, like I said, it definitely seems like that bullet is going good there. So there is definitely rifling present for sure. They're not wrong. It looks like the rifling is good to me. I doubt I would hold it up to the camera to you guys, but I would need to get a light on the other side. But yeah, it definitely has some rifling, which is good. And then I'll touch on fairness for these. The last thing I have written down here is as far as fairness goes, or value. I think that there definitely is some value in these guys. I think that they are absolutely going to go up in value. I think that before these came out, started coming, this big batch of them came out of Ethiopia, I feel like they were up in value. I remember seeing one of these years ago at my local pawn shop. It was in probably the same condition as this one up here. It was not pretty at all, and they wanted $550 for it or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of that gun before. And then all these started coming out of Ethiopia, and I was like, oh, okay, you know. But that was in the converted round like this, but you can definitely get them, you know, cheaper now than I feel like you could before these were coming out of Ethiopia. But I would say for the 8x50, the ones in the original round, I would absolutely say that $150 is a guys for a gun, especially as old as some of these are. I would say that's even in worse condition. I think it's awesome, especially just for the history that surrounds these guns. This one has, I did a no-no and I kind of wore that mark off it, but that's that Italian Africa Corps mark or whatever on there. This other one does not have that, but you know, there's a lot of history behind these guns. So obviously that gun was made during the First War, because then it was given like as reparations to the Italians, and then that's how that ended up in Africa or whatever. So cool history behind it. I absolutely think for value, guys, I think these guns are probably definitely worth it. Even if you're going to roll the dice and you got one that had a shot out bore or whatever, I still think you're getting a cool piece of history. To be honest, I think you're still getting a cool piece of history. Just do what I did. If you want to get one and you really want one like I did, like that one obviously isn't a shooter, and you want one that's you plan on having it as a shooter, then just pick an individual listing, and then you know what you're getting. I hear, a lot of people saying, oh, I don't want to roll the dice on another gun, buy them. It's like, you can choose individual listings from them. Like a lot of times they're like $50 more or whatever, but I mean, just to have eyes on the gun that you're physically going to have before you get it, I think it's probably worth paying a little bit of extra money, just because, you know, it's something, especially if it's something you plan on shooting. So that's just my opinion on that. I'm going to be covering more of this on my next video. Is going to be a 10 gun review of all these Royal Tiger Imports guns I have. Like I was saying, this is my 10th gun I've received from them, so I'm going to be just covering all the guns I've got from them. Fairness, cleanliness, value. I'm going to be going into all of that on my next video, guys. So definitely tune in for that. If the guns from Royal Tiger Imports are something that you're interested in, that you've been thinking about getting one, or you've gotten one and you were happy with it, or you've gotten two, you've been happy with them, and you're wondering about getting more stuff from them, I'll definitely share my personal input on the company, their customer service and stuff like that. I've had to deal with some of that, so I definitely want to share all that with you guys. So I'll be doing probably my final video on Royal Tiger Imports as a whole this next video. So anyways, guys, I'm going to kind of leave it at that. I'm going to do a part 2 on this gun where I clean it up and shoot it and tell you if I'm truly happy with it. Right now I'm happy just because I mainly wanted it, and I knew what it was coming at, like how it was gonna look when it was coming, because I chose an individual listing. But I'll give you my full input on it after I shoot it. You know, if I can shoot the thing 100 yards, then I'm happy. If I can't shoot the thing further than 50 yards and it's keyholing, I'm going to be very upset because I purposely paid for one that supposedly had nicer rifling, nicer bore and stuff. So I'll let you guys know my input on it. But I know this video is getting a little bit longer, so I'm going to leave it at that. Feel free to subscribe, guys. I definitely appreciate that, you know, you guys supporting me that way. I definitely want to continue to make content for you guys and show you guys what I'm you know, what I have going on, you know, and possibly maybe even share more stuff out of Royal Tiger Imports. I know I just said it might be my last major video I do about them, but odds are I might end up getting more stuff from them in the future. So, but anyways, guys, just thank you so much, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So stay tuned, guys, if you're interested in seeing more, you know, my second video about that, or that video about all the guns in general that I've received from Royal Tiger Imports. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.